Tell me what your life was like before you died.
I was at work, and I used to unload rail cars for a college job. And the wall that was stuck, the wall in between to keep the products in place, that was stuck. So I offered to climb up and release the wall. It's a half-ton wall. And my teammates were, pulling underneath. And then all of a sudden, the wall just gave way. And I slid with the wall all the way across. And the wall stopped by my jaw. My jaw got crushed in between. Yeah. So metal members, roof members, just like, and I was stuck. I was just like hanging, and I could actually see myself. And that was the coolest thing ever. Above and looking at myself, I'm going, that does not look good at all. But I didn't realize that I was dead, which was really crazy. It was like, and then and this is the conscious part. It's like, what am I doing over there if I am over here? And then I realized it's like, oh, I'm dead. And then it was sadness for maybe a split second. But then you have so much joy and so much expansiveness at that moment that you don't even think about your physical body anymore. You don't think about, your loved ones and so on like that, because it's just like, whoa, it's just crazy how beautiful that layer is. And then from there, I ascended into where I went into a life review. There's, you see the tunnel of light, you go through a tunnel of light. It is brilliance. And some people go, well, it's the optic nerve and all that. It really isn't. You're in another consciousness. One, I was out of my body. Two, it's this thing that just consumes you, and you think you're in a tunnel, but in reality, you're really not. It's just a space of just pure possibilities. That's what, pure white is about, pure possibilities. There's different layers of possibilities. The first layer, sometimes people go where they, their loved ones meet them, right? Their dogs, loved ones, whoever's crossed over, they introduce them. I went into the fourth or fifth layer of that, where it was a life review. And that life review, it wasn't about, somebody keeping score where, you did this wrong, you did this right, and then they tally up the score, and then you either go to heaven or you go down below to the other place. It wasn't like that at all. It was literally reviewing your life as a high-level being and looking at it, and it's like, oh, okay, that's why that happened. That's why that happened. That's why this happened. So you start to see it from, say, a college grad level or a PhD level consciousness rather than, a kindergarten level of awakening. You feel presences, but I didn't see anybody. And it's not like you're observing your life. You're in the life, re-experiencing like 22 years for me in maybe mere seconds. You were reliving yourself in that moment, from my point of view, reliving everything, but from a very high level state of consciousness. Well, you stepped into the moment, and then when you're done reviewing, you step back out. It's like you're in the ride, and you go through life and you go, oh, that's why this happened. Oh, that's why this happened. So you can't really change what happened because that's written in the sands of time. The important thing is that you can rewrite the meaning of what happened. And that's really key, because that's what I use today to transform, not only my life, but, thousands of others around, where you can change or you can edit what happens to you. You can change the meaning of what's happened to you, which changes your present focus or the possibilities of where you can go into the present moment. It allowed me to awaken much quicker than taking another 20, 30, 40 years or maybe lifetimes to transform. So in that perspective, I understood why things happen the way they do. And literally, it is a teaching experience, but the teaching experience for me was about, oh, we're just all running programs. And that's really the key. It's like, oh, it's a program. It's not like it was my fault or it was their fault or whatever. It's just like you run a program and the outcome is right there for you. It's just literally that simple. When you step back out of the ride and, again, still not in my body, and I'm going, okay, now, how did I just live 22 years in maybe a minute or two? That puzzled me even then. And I think that was the teaching experience for me, is like, wait, time and space can be edited. It can be, distorted. It can be edited. It can be manipulated for your benefit. There's a deep state of love you have for yourself, because you look at the mistakes and you realize that, you aren't the mistakes. You aren't the distortions, you aren't the abuse, or you aren't the successes or anything. You are a grand level being experiencing those things. Although, you can experience that, you, who you are, is an infinite being, and you know yourself so solidly. And from that, you get this immense peace and joy and the brilliance of love that I've never experienced in physical form. Although you're in that state all the time. And then, this consciousness, starts talking to you. It's like, and it's a collective consciousness. So it's not just like one person. It's like many individuals talking through one voice. Right? And it's like, oh, yes, I know you could stay here. It's like, because you have this choice. You can either stay here or you can go back. But as soon as they say, it's a beautiful voice. It's crazy beautiful. And, sounds and inflections and tones that we can't comprehend it. But you heard the voice, at that level. Because, in that consciousness, you don't have ears, you don't have, but for me to understand it, you hear it as a voice. But it's like, yeah, you can stay here if you'd like, but you can always go back. But as soon as they go back, you're just like, they push you back into your body, or as soon as you think of going back, you're probably in your body right away. And that's where I felt the pain of, my jaws being crushed. I look around and then I pass out. So as soon as they say, oh, go back, it's not like you have a choice, so to speak. You already created that experience of going back. There is no time and space. So as soon as you think, you're there. So I think that's where you just like go back in. It's like, whoa, I'm back. And, we were in Belize. We were in a rafting trip, and, we connected. The guide goes, well, you want to stay interlocked with your feet. Otherwise, you'll get pulled into other tributaries. Something happened to me where I had to unlock my feet with the other group. So the group went one way, my sons and I went the other way, and I got pulled into a cenote. It's basically a hole in the bottom of the river. So I pushed my kids aside, and then I got sucked in, and that's where I was trying to crawl out, but I was in this lava tube. Back then, probably was a lava tube. Now it's filled with water, but the water pressure was so great. I was trying to crawl out, and then at some point you give up. That's when I go, gosh, I'll never see my kids grow up. And, it's like, damn, I thought I had a great future and all that, it's like, and then all of a sudden you see your body I saw my body just float away into, the bowels of the earth. And it felt this expansiveness again, and the joy and the beauty. And I could still feel the water, the presence of water. I went through the rock, and then back through the river, and then I ascended into higher realms. You transcend the tunnel of light, and it's like a black hole or a void, because it's a space of nothingness. That space of nothingness is actually the space of everything possible, because it had to be nothing for you to create or render anything without judgment. It's a blank slate, and it's beautiful up there. But I could feel, I have access to all possibilities here. And I had access to all knowledge that ever was, is, and shall be. And I'm going, whoa. It's like I call it the universal database. And you can have access to it, and anything that you need or want, it's even faster, because there's no time, no space at that level. And so, and it turned into a beautiful blue space, kind of like the deep ocean blue. It turned into that, and I'm going, wow, this is so beautiful. The amount of love at that level is 1,000,000 times greater than what you could handle here. I don't think you could handle that much love here. Your body would just like explode. Sure. It's like an orgasmic state. Anything you wanted there, anything you could do, you literally transform into. It's like, oh, I want to go to France. It's like, oh, you're in France. It's like that. So it took a little bit, to understand the concepts, and I don't know how long. According to my wife at the time, I probably was underwater like 8-10 minutes. Over there, it was like lifetimes, because it's forever. There's no time, there's no space. And then I blacked out, came back. That's where I got downloaded all the information. So basically, it was a connection point. When I came back, my heart, my circulatory system, everything got revamped. It took me about a year, but I'm healthier now than ever before. My definition of God or pure source is the intelligence that created this reality. And the physics principles. If you follow that physics, the science, not religions or anything like that, but if you follow the science of trillions of years of evolution, that would be that intelligence that I would define God. So you become the observer of your physical form. So the more you can do that, rather than the flip, most people see their physical form, and then some people go, well, there's a spirit out there. I don't even know what that is. But if you can see yourself from, again, a spiritual aspect of who you are, looking upon your physical form, you start to create more love. The way you do that is create more efficiencies of who you are by letting go of those filters. The ultimate purpose of life is about understanding space and time, or the multidimensional space that is created here. Again, the programming, so you can render yourself here in physical form with all the possibilities of being a limitless being. So again, at a spirit level, you're limitless, you're all powerful. How do you render that each moment at a time and still realize it? So basically walking here on physical earth, on physical form, through your spiritual eyes, experiencing that.